We're here gathered today, the 16th of May, to commemorate the 100th birth anniversary of Sir Dawda Kairaba Jawara, the first Gambian president. And in so doing, we have in our midst Mr. Dawda Jawara Jr., who is the first son of Sir Dawda Kairaba Jawara, and also executive members from the People's Progressive Party. In the persons of Amidalo Foster, the National Treasurer, Aji Bintu Jaite, she is a Board of Trustee member. Sona Ami Bajan is a Central Committee member. And on the far right there is Lamin Jeju. Lamin is the senior driver for the People's Progressive Party. And here, my immediate right here, we have Sanusi Toure. Sanusi Toure is the national mobilizer for the People's Progressive Party. And Abdoulaye Ba is the National Administrative Secretary of the party. We have Mariama Sane Yamso, she is the National Women Mobilizer, and some party members. Maidabo is the Deputy National Women Mobilizer of the party. The guy standing out there is Karfa Sambu. She is the National Youth Secretary General. And I am Uthman Jeng, the Media Director and Communications for People's Progressive Party. Normally, with custom, we would start our event with prayers. So I would just indulge everybody for us to pray, and then not forgetting the one that we are commemorating his birth, to include him in our prayers also. Save the destiny of the Gambia and leave an indelible mark in our hearts and minds. It is with great honor and humility that I stand before you to pay tribute to the life and legacy of Sir Dawda Kairaba Jawara, the founding father and first president of our beloved country, the Gambia. Sir Dawda was not just a leader. He was a beacon of hope, a symbol of unity, and a champion of democracy. His journey from humble beginnings to the highest office of the land serves as an inspiration to us all. Though through his unwavering dedication and tireless efforts, he laid the foundation for a modern and prosperous Gambia. As we reflect on his remarkable achievements, we are reminded of the countless lives he touched and the transformative impact he had on our nation. From the pursuit of independence to the promotion of social justice and economic development, Sir Dawda dedicated his life to serving the people of the Gambia with integrity, passion, and humility. Today, as we celebrate his centennial birthday, let us not only honor his memory, but also to reaffirm our commitment to upholding the values and principles for which he stood. Let us strive to build upon his legacy and continue the journey towards a brighter future for generations to come. On behalf of the entire nation, I extend my deepest gratitude to Sir Dawda for his selfless service, his visionary leadership, and his enduring commitment to the ideals of democracy and nation building. May his legacy continue to inspire us all and work towards a better, more inclusive, and more prosperous Gambia. Happy 100th birthday, Sir Dawda. Thank you for a life well lived and a legacy that will endure for eternity. From the Secretary General and Party Leader.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Jeng. And thank you to all of you who are here assembled. The 100th birthday of, what would have been the 100th birthday of Sir Dawda is obviously a very emotional day for members of the family. and we have spent most of the day in prayer for his departed soul. And of course, His Excellency the President had enjoined all Gambians of all faiths to do the same. And we've had prayers in churches on Sunday, this past Sunday, in mosques all over the country as well. And I have just come from a ceremony at the Pipeline Mosque where prayers were said. So that is what it means to us today. Now, his legacy, as the Secretary General's statement reads, is there to inspire us all. And you cannot really talk about that legacy without thinking about the PPP. It is a foundational institution of this country. I won't go into all the detail, but the fact that we all sit here together today as Gambians has much to do with the vision of the PPP that led us to independence and brought us Republican status in 1970. Some of the achievements of the country have been amplified today and in recent days. But as a son and as a member of Sir Dawda's family, I think he made the country proud. I think through various achievements. I'll just list a few, which I would want you to consider within the context of Gambia being a small country, one of the smallest, I think the smallest on mainland Africa, but also one which, at the time the PPP was formed, was thought could never exist in a viably. So that's the context. Gambia in 1974, through Sir Dawda, chaired the OIC's Peace Committee, which brought peace to on the Iran-Iraq conflict. It's quite remarkable that a small country, a country as small as Gambia, was charged with that responsibility. A few years later, the Liberian crisis coincided with Sir Dawda's second period as chairman of ECOWAS, and the crisis, the war, was brought to an end, and I think by 1991, Dr. Amos Sawyer was installed as the interim president of Liberia. And I could go on and on, but I think as far as the PPP is concerned, I've just been reading again through his book, and one of the things he said really did touch me, and it is that he did not consider the PPP to be merely a party that happened to be in power. He considered it more to be a party that had a vision, that had certain core principles which he exhibited, throughout his presidency, and I think it is now our responsibility to continue that legacy. And it's not about, and this is what I want to make clear, it's not in the first instance about seeking power. Okay? It's not about that. Again, I'm speaking not as an official of the party. I'm speaking as a family member and as an ordinary member of the party. What I think is crucial is that the party regroups and really reconsiders what its vision should be, what its relevance could be in the current circumstances, bearing in mind that the party has had limited impact, over a period of 30 years or so, since 1994, with many of its members, its senior members in exile, with the party actually having been banned for a period of, I don't know, maybe over 10 years. It was banned. Yeah, it was banned. Its assets under seizure, and still under seizure, I should add. So I think these are some of the factors that explain why the party has seen some level of decline. So I think it is an opportunity maybe to renew, to look again, to start to revive the party so that it can once again become a force for good in our country. And again, as an ordinary member of the party, what I would hope is that it will be a party that is open to everybody, a party that is willing to engage with others, including people in other political parties, a party that goes back also to some of the foundational principles in terms of the rule of law, strengthening the rule of law, strengthening our democracy in general. So then the other, I think, thing maybe I'll end with is that yes, today I'm asked to speak because of this occasion. But what I want to emphasize is that it is a party that belongs to all, where all are equal, where there is no what I would call a sense of entitlement, that nobody feels that because of who they are, because of their lineage, or who might be their father, that they have any additional right compared to other people, or for any other reason. It is a party that is founded on the principles of equality, and I think this is something that I would really like to emphasize, and I hope that the executive will continue to lead the party along those lines. So thank you very much. I've been a little bit up and down all over the place, but I think those are just some of the comments that I would make. Thank you very much indeed.
Independence. And after independence, PPP ruled this country for progress, development, adherence to the rule of law, democracy, and not only through democracy, but also through environmental campaign, because Sadara's declaration, the Bandul Declaration, which gives prominence to the lives, to the fauna and flora of this country, was also very instrumental in his leadership time. So the call here is we are sending an olive branch arm to all Gambians to come back to PPP, irrespective of where you are. Not only the offsprings of people, of the founding fathers of PPP, but also to the general citizenry of this country. Like they say in Wolof, so hamatut fingay dem nga delu finga joge. It is high time that we go back to where we belong to. We go back to our roots, and our roots is PPP. And it is only through PPP's leadership that this country can become what we all yearn for. On that note, I would want to end our speeches here. If we can entertain a few questions from the media, then we go ahead with that question and answer session. But before going to the question and answer session, we would also want to pay tribute to a prominent figure in the annals of Gambian history, in the passing of Omar Amadou Jallow, whose 1 year anniversary was just observed 2 days ago. We would seek Gambians, irrespective of whichever religion you belong to to remember Honorable Omar Amadou Jallow in your prayers for Allah to grant him to continue to rest his soul in Jannatul Firdaus. Thank you very much. On that note, we end this press conference and entertain questions and answers from the press. Thank you very much.
Executive members, Sadara Jr., my big brother. It's been a while since I've seen you. First, I would like to send my condolences to our father of the nation, Sadara Kairaba Jawara, and also happy birthday to him for his 100th birthday. We were there earlier today. The reason I was late coming in is because I dropped off some people in Gunjur and my son was there too. So I had to go pick him up and bring him back. So he kept calling me. So that's the reason why. And traffic is very bad around this time of the day. So that's the reason why it took me so long to get over here. So I do apologize to everybody that's here, that's been sitting here and waiting. Like I said before in the article that we wrote a week ago, I think it's time. It's been time, but due to circumstances since 1994, when the regime came in and took over and banned the party, we never gave up. Most of us are born into the PPP party, and we are still PPP. We never changed parties. We stayed in one party. Even though we might not be vocal about where we stand, but deep down inside, we're PPP, and PPP all the way to the end. Again, I'm going to reiterate what I said before, that we are asking all the PPP kids, sisters and brothers, family members to come join us on this mission. PPP has set up the system that we are still using now. If you go around between here all the way to Basse, those areas, Jahari Pachar, all those programs that was put in place by the PPP government is still the program that people are trying to use to piggyback on. But I've seen that they have not used it properly. I go across the country every time I'm here from the States to see what's going on, whether it's Jahari Pachar, Sankalkunda, Janjambure, Nyanija. I've seen all those places where everything is just at a standstill. Nothing is working, and all the people are asking is, where is the help? We have the experience, we know how it was set up, and we have a lot of folks that have the skill set that are all over the world, on the ground here in Gambia and across the world, that are here and ready. They've been talking to me saying that we are ready to come back, but what is the plan? So let's put the plan together, and the plan should stand from here on the ground, bringing us in. Some of us are ready to come back. I'm back, and a lot of folks like us are back. So, thank you. I don't want to keep you guys here because you've been sitting around waiting for a long time. All I'm saying is, whatever the party wants me to do to help, mobilize, bring the youth on board, I'm ready, I'm willing. I'm back home, and that's all I have to say to everybody here. And thank you so much for sticking to your guns. There's a lot of folks here that I've talked to before this meeting that never changed. I talked to a lady yesterday, since 1979. She's been on the party, she never left. That's amazing. So let's do it, let's make it happen. Thank you so much, and thanks to everybody that came out here, and they're welcome. Thank you. Yeah, 1972.
It is important for the country for the party to continue Sadara's legacy. And in so doing, we would not only stop at, like Mr. Jawara said, organizing prayers for Sadauda, organizing a press conference. But if you were following activities that were happening since morning, there was a tree planting at the National Assembly, you understand, to honor his legacy. But also, we would also engage the advocacy of Sadauda's legacy throughout the length and breadth of this country. Through Jack Carlos, face-to-face, you understand, through reaching out to the communities. Because let us remember that the PPP is a grassroots-based political party. And being a grassroots-based political party, it means we must reach out to the grassroots wherever they are, in the hamlets, in the villages, in the towns, in the cities, wherever people are, we will reach out to them to sell Dawda's legacy, but not only Dawda's legacy, because Dawda led through an institution like Mr. Jawara said, which is the People's Progressive Party, which gave Gambia independence. Of course, and like you rightly mentioned, it is important that historians would not forget to include the legacy of Dawda and PPP in their history, books. And also, like you said, I think it is important for the curriculum to be revisited, because the world over, wherever you go, people would always follow their history. They would read to know their history, people that contributed to the advancement and development of their countries. Sadly, it is for us in this country, do we celebrate each other's successes? We seldomly celebrate each other. What we are always busy doing is trying to pull each other down, which is not taking this country anywhere. So our appeal here is not only would we engage in promoting Dawda's legacy, but also we are going to advocate for the curriculum to be revisited so that Dawda's legacy would be incorporated in the school curriculum. Thank you very much. If that answers your question. Thank you.
I think young politicians have the opportunity to think about the overall state of our politics today. I think Mr. Jang referred to the very antagonistic type of politics that we seem to have. And I don't think it takes us anywhere. It doesn't take us forward. The lesson, I think, for any young politician or for any young political movement is that it must have a definable or a discernible vision. Okay? And the furtherance of that vision must be the one thing that it pursues relentlessly, because it believes that that vision will bring progress to the country. Okay, so I think that's the first lesson. I think you really have to, young politicians need to decide what is it that they believe in. Okay? Now, I think our politics, each party has a manifesto which sets out what it wants to achieve and how it's going to achieve it. But adherence to the manifesto in terms of a coherent message, that is, followed persistently, is then the next step. So I think that is something that young politicians and young political activists need to think about. What are the issues of the day? And what are the solutions to those issues? Whether there are issues in the economic sphere, whether there are issues in the environmental sphere, just to give two examples. I think, so I think an issue-based politics, a more issue-based politics, I think, is one that I would want to see. But then the other thing that I would want to see is a politics that is not based upon antagonism, a politics that is based upon cooperation between different political organizations, debating issues, coming together with organizations that maybe have a different view, but sitting together and discussing, those views. And this is why I feel that if the PPP is to really become a force for good in the future, it must have that flexibility, openness, but also it must think very deeply about where it stands as a political, as a political organization, and in terms of what its principles are. So these are fairly general and common sense things, I think, that could move the political agenda forward. Thank you.
In making this event a success, we pray and ask for all Gambians, irrespective of whichever religion you belong to continue to pray for the late Sir Dawda Kairaba Jawara and his founding members of this People's Progressive Party for their souls to continue to